Greetings, multi-flavored Earthlings. Welcome back. Once again, it's your pal, Spaceman Speck, back for episode 2 of Subnautica. A funny thing happened on the way to episode 2. This is actually the second time we're doing episode 2 of Subnautica. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But for the moment, why don't we get right into it? Let's go. Yep, here we are. Back at our beautiful base, which we finished last episode, is somehow levitating without crashing to the floor. Let's hop in, because I did a couple of things after the last episode, which bear discussing. The first one is I did a bunch of resource hunting. And I've dropped all these resources into these boxes. I also built a battery recharger and a power cell recharger. Also a medkit builder. And last but not least, I came over here and made a scanner room HUD chip. And what that does is when we turn on our scanner, so let's say we look for fragments, not only will the scanner show them here, but they'll also show up in our HUD, as you see there. And that, of course, makes looking for stuff so much easier. Let's get back to it. We have a radio message waiting for us, and we've also got some logs that we picked up that we haven't listened to yet. So let's do that.
This is LifePod 4. We've landed close to the Aurora. Flotation device is active, but we've got some big old fish in the water with us, and I don't know how long we're gonna last. We're close to the crash site, so bring radiation protection. 4 out.
Signal coordinates corrupted. Approximate transmission origin recorded to data bank.
Okay. Let's take a look at that. LifePod 4, transmission origin approximately 150 meters northwest of the Aurora's port midsection. Alright. Well, that's our next stop, obviously. In the meantime, we picked up all of these logs from the Degassi mission. We haven't listened to them yet, so let's do that. So we had Bart Torgal, who was the son. Paul Torgal was the father, the head of the expedition. And Marguerite Maida. I can't remember what her role was, but she's basically gotten between the father and son. Anyway, let's listen to this.
I thought it might get claustrophobic living underwater. Father feels it is. He'd tell me it was childish, but I stare out of the window and sometimes I think how lucky I am to see this world up close. Back on the island, I wouldn't have believed the creatures that live down here. The fish, they glow. There's one that's 90% eyeball. Snakes twice the length of a habitat compartment. Certainly, it's not all friendly. Most of the plant life is toxic. Learned that the hard way. But I've managed to coax some marble melons into growing indoors. And when they don't cover our dietary needs, well, we eat the fish themselves. It's a bit gross, but it's nothing they wouldn't do. I've been attempting to document my findings. Father approves. He says understanding is power, that the more we know about this planet, the more we can use it to our advantage. I'm just doing it because it's fun. It's not easy without proper equipment and network access, but the old-fashioned way, observing, taking notes, testing theories, shows me the world in a way a spectroscopic analysis never could. Lately, I've been watching the crab snakes. They ambush their prey as it tries to feed on the mushrooms they hide in. What they don't eat settles on the seabed, which fertilizes the mushrooms, which feeds the herbivores, and so the chain continues. Co-evolution gives me the fuzzies.
Aw, cute. Bart Torgal is a young, optimistic biologist. Next one.
Something incredible just happened. Since we're down here, I had this plan to build equipment and study the life forms we were encountering, but I didn't have enough enameled glass. So, I started looking for a natural substrate that would strengthen the glass we have, and those stalker teeth we've been finding fit the bill. Only, well, we needed more. That's when Marguerite got interested. She actually listened to me, more than I can say for Father, and I worked up the courage to talk about my more tentative theories. When I told her they were attracted to metal deposits, that their teeth get dislodged when they pick them up, her eyes narrowed and she dashed out of the room. 3 hours later, she came back, her pack loaded down with stalker teeth. I asked her about it. She shrugged and said my theories were good. Said she had the meeting out of the palm of her hand. I think she meant it literally. She is incredible. She went out to the kelp forest armed with just a heat blade and went fin to fin with a pack of stalkers. On the one hand, that is the coolest thing I have ever heard. On the other, I hope the stalkers didn't come off worse than Marguerite did. She had a huge gash on her forearm. I don't think things went as smoothly as she made out. And what's the point in surviving here if we have to kill everything that makes it so wonderful?
Aw.
I wish I knew more about these animals. But Father won't let me leave the habitat. Maybe with all this glass, we could build a containment unit and get up close to them.
Oh, a containment unit, you say? Let's keep going. We've only got a few of these.
Something incredible just happened.
Son, there is always a pecking order. And in our world, money makes a hierarchy. I pay Maida a fraction of what I pay you, and you a fraction of what I pay me.
If money makes the hierarchy, why is Marguerite making the decisions?
We need her. We let her think what she likes, so long as she does what she's told.
What if she doesn't?
For enough money, she will. People always do.
Dissatisfaction brewing.
We're already 200 meters below sea level. You want to go deeper?
Look around us, Chief. Water leaking through the hull, water outside the hatch. We're drowning real slow. If rescue arrives, whatever shot us down, it's gonna do it again and again until it's shut off. You see an off switch around here, Chief?
Why would it any more likely be half a kilometer down?
Your kid found something on the scanner. There's something down there. Something that shouldn't be.
You're mad.
I'm going all the same, and I have an idea you two are gonna follow. But if you do, be mindful. Your authority stopped at sea level.
Alright, so Marguerite left them and went off deeper to make a new habitat.
These conniving corporate bourgeois, inbred, incompetent, self-absorbed jerks don't have a damn clue. The kid's not so bad. He's even useful. But I swear, everything that comes out of his father's idiot face is a narcissistic lie. He wants to stay in this cave, his problem. I'm the one doing the heavy lifting. When sea monsters are hunting you, you don't hide. You hunt the sea monsters. Then you build a bigger boat out of sea monster bones and you hunt bigger monsters. Keep going until there aren't any monsters left to hunt you. I'm going deeper. I'm gonna find what shot us down and I'm gonna tear its damn heart out. I've started the prep work. The kids taught me how to make enameled glass. I've started stockpiling metal ores to build myself a sea moth. I'll raid the indoor grow beds before I leave.
And then finally, this log from Paul, the father.
You know what Maida told me today? She wants to build a habitat 500 meters below sea level, more than a kilometer northeast of here. And she needs Bart and I to do it. She's got it into her head that she can save us if she just acts recklessly enough. But I've hauled Star Wars to Neptune, Plasteel to the Federation. This family operates 9 different mining colonies across the Ariadne Arm. Maida thinks she's better suited to lead. Her contract still says otherwise. But I just cannot damn well tell whether it's the stupidest idea I ever heard, or my only hope. I turned 80 years old last week. I thought I had another 80 in me, but marooned on this planet, there's no swapping out of my liver when the old one fails. Here, I'm mortal. And Maida is useful. So, it's my responsibility to make a decision. Return to the island and hope whatever knocked the Degassi out of the sky won't do the same to the rescue ship. Or take us deeper in search of answers. And all the while be hoping old age gets me before the sea monsters do. I'll give Maida just one thing. She was right about these caves. There's enough lithium there to fabricate 100 tons of plasteel. Enough for a damn fleet of Cyclops submarines. There was nothing anyone could have done to avoid crashing here. But I was right to order the detour. If we get off this planet, they'll be talking about the Torgal share price on the other side of the Federation.
Alright, so the ongoing story of the Degassi survivors. So we learned a few things. One, they were on an island, which we haven't seen any islands so far. And two, they got broken up because of a basic disagreement about how careful they need to be in figuring out their survival. Alright, well let's go take a look at life pod number 4. We don't have a beacon. What we have is an idea about how to get there. 150 meters northwest of the Aurora's port midsection. Okay, well, here's the Aurora. Let's head for her midsection and see what's what. I love this. I love just being able to look at this in the background of everything you do. At least for a little while. Oh, hey guys. Reef backs, which we met last time. Super pretty. Yeah, speaking of things that are fun to have in the background to look at, that's some great design. Northwest of the midsection. Alright. No map in this game. Want to find something, you kind of have to do it the old-fashioned way. With a compass. So northwest. 150 meters. We definitely have passed that already. There it is. But it is upside down. Yeah, things have not gone well here. So I'll take you. Creature decoy.
New blueprint acquired.
To any Altera crew. Landed in area of significant alien activity. Encountered predators in the Leviathan class, highly aggressive. Spectroscope scanner assigned species designator Reaper. One specimen attempted to swallow the life pod, doing extensive damage in the process. Only viable option is to make for the safety of the Aurora crash site. I have retrieved a data box with the creature decoy and enough resources to fabricate a couple of them. The swim's longer than the decoy lifetime, but it should just be enough to keep them busy. If you don't find me on board the ship, presume I miscalculated.
Yeah, I think you miscalculated, my friend. That's too bad. But we now have a blueprint for a creature decoy. I have a feeling I know what that's gonna get used for. We also, now that we know where number 4 is, I think, let's see. Yeah, this one gave us coordinates based on number 4. 400 meters west-northwest of Life Pod 4's last known location. Alright, so let's go look at that one. West-northwest. About 400 meters and instead 100 meters down. So, let's start heading down. Yeah, this game can be creepy, that's for sure. Is that it in the distance? I think that's it. Oh yeah, look at this. Number 6. Let's go have a look.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
doing? You were gone so long. I thought you drowned. Put the flare down. I was going to try and attract someone's attention. That's not a distress flare. Stop waving it around like that. You'll catch the fuel line.
Yikes. Alright, well... Sorry, ladies. That's about it. Now here's another... I've never had.
Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. We're not in immediate danger. Where are the rescue teams? The Aurora didn't make it.
Oh, that's run out of
So,
oxygen.
where are the rescue teams? They're
30
dead,
seconds.
ma'am. We have rendezvous coordinates, but the route's irradiated. So, what are you going to do? I'm head of human resources, ma'am. This is not my expertise. But the PDA says if we can find some lead, we can make radiation suits. Out there! I am not setting foot outside this life pod without the proper protection. Don't worry. I'll go.
Well, that didn't end well. These things usually have a debris field around them. So, before we take off, let me just do a quick scan around the area. See if we can see anything. Because we are in hot pursuit of blueprint fragments. Ah, a time capsule. So these have a bunch of stuff in them, and they're kind of interesting. Yeah, this is kind of fun mechanic that the devs put in the game, where players can send things to each other. And much later, you find out how, but we won't know that for a little while. But in the meantime, let's see if there's a message. So, it has finally happened. What a long, strange trip it has been, but every great story has an ending, I suppose. Goodbye, 4546B. Okay. Is there anything interesting in there? Computer chip, titanium ingot, some wiring kits. That's cool. Alright. A little communication from beyond. Okay. Let's head back. The next thing I want to do is the big one that I've been waiting for. Aurora, this huge wreck that we've been staring at the whole time, is begging to be explored. So I want to go explore her. Stalker fucking grabbing our scanner camera, which is what they do.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Thanks. Okay, I think we do want to keep a couple of med kits. In fact, why don't we grab one more? At least. And I'm also gonna make some fire extinguishers for a reason that will become evident very soon. I know I keep saying it, but holy crap, I'm so happy to be back here. Look at this base. We need to keep titting that thing out when we get back. Alright, so here's the side entrance, which has been ripped open. Over here... Over here is a huge, open, empty area of ocean. And one of the key nemeses of the game is over here. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of him without having him come bite us in the ass. Oh boy. Shit. No, don't. Get us out of here. Oh no. Did he trash my sea moth? I think he did.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
I think he ate my sea moth. Alright, well that was Leviathan. Yeah, the sea moth is gone. That's okay. We can build another one. Well, I forgot how scary they are. They're pretty scary. We can do something about them later. But right now, they are insta-death. These little guys suck big time. They are the nuisance creature of this game. What are they called again? Cave crawlers. They're not a huge threat, but they run after you and fuck with you. And so... Oh, shit.
Structural integrity is low.
I'm on fire.
Fire suppression equipment and laser cutters may be required. Exploration is conducted at your own risk.
You bet. But anyway, you can deal with them if you've got a propulsion cannon pretty easily. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool design. I love it. Oh, I can't go here, because I actually need a propulsion cannon for this, too, I believe. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Well, let's try this a different way. Lesson learned. Build a propulsion cannon before you go back to the Aurora.
Caution. Scans show the digestive tracts of nearby life forms contain human tissues.
I wonder if she's talking about the Leviathans. Look at that. Beautiful sunset from the burning wreckage of our ship. What an end to a beautiful day. A fire extinguisher. It's almost as if somebody knew we would need one. You know, these fires are deceptively hard to put out. Cargo Bay Administration.
Aurora systems are running on local reserve power, unable to remotely download black box data.
Okay. Does that mean we'll have to do it in person?
Integrating new PDA data.
Terra launches the Aurora. Phase get announced for their Ariadne arm. The Aurora travel from a space dock on the edge of Altera space. Hundreds of jumps through 9 different transcode authorities. Arrive on the far side of the Ariadne arm. 6 months construction project. Yeah, so our original job was to build phase gates for ships to travel out here. Alright. What else do we have? There's a PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
1454 Cargo Bay Code. Alright, well that's good to know. Definitely want this poster. Cargo Bay.
Integrating new PDA data.
Exiting sleep mode. Loading voice recognition. Engineer Barclay and Chief Technology Officer you identified.
Drone, get me a propulsion cannon.
Repulsion cannon retrieved.
Hey, Berkeley. Install that circuit box with that repulsion cannon and you'll punch a hole in the cargo bay.
Damn it, Drone, I said propulsion, not repulsion. Recalibrate sensors.
Senses recalibrated.
Sensors aren't the problem. I tweak the program. It's like you now. It doesn't like being told what to do.
Drone, I know...
His name's Albert now.
Albert, I know it's not your fault, but it would really help me do my job if you'd bring me what I asked for. Thanks for your time.
Propulsion cannon retrieved.
Thank you. Now go away.
Entering hibernation mode.
Boss, this hobby of yours isn't making my job any easier. Or safer.
Maybe so, but it's all that's stopping me from being so bored I take a spacewalk in my skivvies.
Now, need a repulsion cannon to get through. Okay, I think the game is telling us something. Alright, let's go build that repulsion cannon. You know, again, I've played a number of these survival crafting kind of games. And I think the thing that separates Subnautica from the rest of the pack is it's so deeply story-based. The story is so good and so compelling. And even, we just listened to those PDAs. In a normal game, you'd pick up some piece of lore, right? Some written document. I can't count the number of games I've played that are just loaded with written documents that everyone who plays the game ignores completely. But instead of that, that all the important ones at least, they have actors reading them, which is great because it makes you listen to them and it fills you in on a pretty interesting backstory to all of this. It just doesn't go into unbearable, unnecessary detail about, the history of the Altera Corporation and things like that. It's all story related, and it all serves to move the main story of what you're doing and what you're finding out forward. So it's all worth listening to. And yeah, there's a lot of crafting joy to be had from it. You get the same endorphin rush that you do from, any crafting game. I mean, Minecraft really was the OG when it comes to that. And it gives you the same endorphin rush, but there's such a rich, layered story behind it all that you get a sense that you're doing it for a reason. Right? When you go down into the depths to get more titanium or copper or whatever the case may be, there's a reason. Because there's an excellent story that's right on the other side of that little search.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay, so we're going to build two things. The first is going to be a repulsion cannon, and the second is going to be another sea moth, which we won't feed to a leviathan this time. It's cool. The whole idea that you can just build these things out of a few scraps of stuff you find on the bottom of the ocean floor is pretty funny. But you buy the conceit, and little things like this, I think, make it easier. The idea that these little buddies build all of your vehicles. Pretty funny. Alright. Generic Seamoth number 2. I was editing the last episode to put on YouTube. Should be up, I think, in a day or two. But, as I'm looking at it, I was waxing poetic about how beautiful the visuals were and how much better it looked than when I originally played it on Xbox on a 2K TV. And as I'm listening to that in the edit, I'm looking at the quality of the video, which was not great, and the irony was pretty rich. I had the bit rate set too low on the last recording, and it didn't capture any of that 4K awesomeness. So, first time Twitch streamer, learning as I go. This time, the bit rate is cranked way up. I believe the video should turn out gorgeous this time. Okay, we're back, and this time we come armed. You bitches. Burn in hell. Give thanks to Valve and Half-Life for giving us the OG gravity guns, which is basically what this is. Pretty fun stuff. Okay. Remember you? Tell me, son of a bitch. Oh boy. Man, I am batting 1,000 right now. We need a cutting tool, which I could easily have built moments ago and did not. I'm gonna take it on you, little bitch. Alright, let's go back and make a cutting tool. When they talk about pro gamers, they're thinking about me. Okay, third time's a charm. Batter up. I'd say that one's out of the park. Something I think I did really well here is the being not only underwater, but in a claustrophobic space and with limited air, and questioning yourself, do I have enough air to get back if I need to? If I get stuck? What happens if I get stuck and don't have enough air? And this that we're in right now, you can see there's air up there. And I think most of the rooms in the Aurora are like that. There's always air nearby. So it's kind of a good introduction to that creepiness. But later, there are some wrecks and caves in the game that just give me the heebie-jeebies when it comes to that paranoia. Alright, data terminal, let's download. Ooh.
Integrating new PDA data.
Black box data. Initiates slingshot maneuver around this planet. High velocity energy pulse detected on the planet's surface. Emergency distress signal sent. Impact detected. The pulse that came from the planet hit the Aurora. Life pod bay is compromised. Evacuation. Captain Hollister switched over to manual piloting. He's a stud. 25 life pods launched safely, and then the ship crashed. Hollister went down with the ship, like the stud that he is. Drive core shield compromised. That's where the radiation's coming from. Emergency bounce backs received from 8 life pods. So of the 25, 8 survived, including us. Human life signs detected 8 hours later. Personnel unaccounted for, including Maintenance Chief Riley Robinson. And I think we find out a little more about him later. Okay, so that's what happened. So something came from the planet, a beam came from the planet and hit our ship and made us crash. So what's the beam? Where'd it come from? Who shot it? And why at us? It's a mystery. Yeah, see, this kind of stuff I find pretty creepy. I can't imagine in the real world being in this kind of a scenario where you've got limited oxygen and you don't know where you're going or what you're doing underwater. It's just creepy. Oh, yes. We just found the good stuff. This is the prawn suit bay. And those are prawn suits. And the game just got a lot more fun. Alright, so we need 4 of those. I think they're all right in front of us. Let's keep putting fires out. Two out of 4. Look what I see over there. Oh, my sweet Lady Jane.
Acquired.
We got prawn suits in the house. That makes me so happy. Yeah, living quarters. Let's check this out first. Here's a nice kitty. Nice kitty. Nice kitty. More fire extinguishers. PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
Today's menu, Space Bear Veloute. Cottage pie or nutrient block. Dried fruits and nuts. And so, unfortunately, there was an accident in Cargo Bay 3. The repulsion cannon. Fruits and nuts will be the only available dessert for the next 39 weeks. That sounds about right.
New blueprint acquired.
Great example of that. Dramatic music playing over nothing. You have a single bed blueprint. Ba-bum. Prawn suit Mark III, rising above the competition. I'll have you. Locked. Keypad. Captain's quarters. Did I have a message earlier with a code for the captain's quarters? Cargo bay code. It's not us. I could have sworn we had it. Maybe it's elsewhere. Alright, so cabin 1 and the captain's quarters we need codes for.
Listen, I know I don't have the right to make demands of you, but I need you to understand that I want to change our arrangement.
I hear what you're saying, and I will try to respect it. How would you like to change it?
I would like to reduce our contact hours
How much further can we do that?
to 0.
You're dumping me.
I'm changing the terms of our relationship.
How is it still a relationship if we don't see each other?
It's a relationship of a kind. You have so many expectations.
I feel you just want to spend more time with that dumb guy in his dumb robot suit.
That's not a feeling. It's a judgment. And I feel hostility in what you're saying. Perhaps your jealousy is a sign that you need to take another look at your business model. Why can't you just be happy for me?
I am happy for you, and I'm happy for all the guys in the prawn bay. I'm just not happy for me.
This is why I want to change our arrangement.
Fun. Locker room.
Integrating new PDA data.
Yeah, here we go. Cabin number 1, the code is 1869.
Integrating new PDA data.
Oh, auxiliary mission orders for the Aurora. Search and rescue the crew of the Mongolian vessel Degassi. Mongolian emissary Yoki Kisar, who was one of the survivors in the life pod that we heard. That's interesting. So he was coming to rescue the crew of the Degassi. That's funny. I didn't know that. Wouldn't have made it in time anyway. But there you go. I love a room like this, by the way. You know, you look at it, and it's easy to just blast through it. But if you stop and take a look, you know, the design is really great. This is a bay for these prawn suits. So presumably, this ship lands on a planet. This huge door over there at some point opens up, and these prawns, people get loaded into them and exit there. A little control room right there, overlooking the room. I mean, it's some gorgeous design. Okay. Look at you, little buddy. You definitely need to come back with us. Take that, blueprint.
New blueprint acquired.
Baseball cap.
Integrating new PDA data.
Alright, well, I guess that's that. Yeah. For what seems like kind of a scary wreck, it's actually pretty easy to get through the Aurora with no problem. Grande, locker room, came from there. Drive room, Seamoth Bay.
Scans of damage to the Aurora do not match any known offensive technologies.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have thought so. We're on an alien world, after all. Let's go to the Seamoth Bay first.
Integrating new PDA data.
This is funny. It's basically a log of some people playing a crafting survival game in VR. Player 3 has grown a coconut tree. Player 3 has eaten a coconut. Player 3 is no longer hungry. Funny. Drive room. Remember the drive core.
The drive core shielding sustained internal damage during collision. Do not attempt repair without appropriate qualifications.
Thanks. That was what I was going to say. So the drive core is leaking radiation. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Alright, well this is the drive room. Oh, what was that I just picked up?
Warning, local radiation at maximum tolerable level.
Alright. Cyclops engine efficiency module. Great. If only I had a Cyclops. Well, let's repair this so that it stops leaking radiation.
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
Alright. 10 to go.
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
These look okay. So I think the rest are underwater. And I can already see from here that we have a few friends down there as well. So I'm going to equip a knife and go deal with my least favorite fish in the game. Leaders. What a name. Yeah, see, they latch onto you. And if you don't kill them, they will suck your blood dry and kill you. So you have to kill them. Oh, that's so annoying! Ah! Kill you, Nice. Alright. Repairs are not recommended for those who do not have proper training.
Detected.
I'm gonna guess I don't have the proper training.
Containment breach repaired.
But this magical repair tool does seem to have the appropriate qualifications.
Containment breach repaired. Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected. Containment breach repaired.
It's a good thing I'm being paid by the hour. This is kind of a lot of work to save the local environment. Damn it, you fucking son of a bitch!
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
Where are you? Where are you? You are. There you are.
Containment breach repaired.
Cool.
Drive core breach sealed. Radiation levels decreasing.
Nice. Uh-huh. One more. Yeah.
Near blueprint acquired.
Awesome. Cyclops engine. I want to say there's like 3 or 4 parts to the Cyclops that you have to get the blueprints for. And then you can build it. So that's the Aurora. Finish it off with one big launch into the sky. See ya, buddy. Sploosh.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So we have 2 of the 3 vehicles in the game. Seamoth and Prawn Suit. And the 3rd, the Cyclops, we gotta start to with that engine room blueprint. You know, one of the marks of an excellent game is just whether you like hanging out in it. You know, games like GTA, Minecraft have that quality. Sorry, buddy. And I feel that way about Subnautica. I mean, truly, you know, just drop the story and you can just hang out and still get a lot of enjoyment out of the game. Okay, home again.
Warning, emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
So fish last longer in the bioreactor. These acid mushrooms don't last very long. There we go.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Alright, what's radio have to tell us?
High priority automated message from Aurora. Live pod 13 coordinates attached. Live pod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yoki Kasa. I said Kasa. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Send immediate burial detail.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
That's funny. Yeah, and he's that guy that we just read about, who was coming to try and save the Degassi survivors, but did not arrive in time. Alright, let's go check out Yoki Kisar's life pod. There it is. High priority passenger. Well, he's certainly acting like one in his message. Alright, Yoki. Let's see what happened to you.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Live pod launch sequence initiated. Entering planetary atmosphere.
My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day my daily pleasures as I give to those who seek pleasures from me.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Critical level.
Show me the path. In life, truth, and love for mine is the power. I am the one. On and off and on again.
Impact imminent.
Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done playing as this bundle of flesh. Return me.
Rough. Alright, modification station. But we already have this. Oh no, we don't.
New blueprint acquired.
Yeah. Alright. I think we can make a modification to the sea moth to allow it to go deeper. I think I just saw some lithium over here. I believe this mushroom forest does have lithium. Yeah, right there. So these guys, these big deposits, you can only get with a prawn suit. And you have to have this drill arm on the prawn suit to mine them. But man, they make material collection much faster once you can. In the meantime, you're just grabbing individual pieces. Scan you, tree mushrooms. Yeah, this is one of my favorite biomes in the game. These awesome mushroom trees. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for being beautiful. Yeah, this is one of the few minor complaints that I had about the original game, or the original time I played, is the draw distance, meaning you got a lot of pop-in of textures. You can see stuff, filling in. And for a game that's, I would assume, not that graphically complex, it seems a really short, draw-in distance. On the other hand, these guys are a small company, not many people working on this, and they did huge heavy lifting to get this game out. It almost didn't happen. They were in fear of losing their funding, or not getting the funding they needed to complete it, but they did. Lucky for us. I think it might have had something to do with how popular the early access game was. People went nuts about it, and I think they got additional funding to finish. So anyway, I can't really complain about drawing distance, particularly for a game I love so much.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Thanks. Nice. I can make my blade a thermoblade, which cooks things that you cut. So fish, if you hit them with it, it'll cook them instantly. Not super useful for us, because we don't have food and water turned on, or thirst and hunger. But it does make your blade look really cool. So, yeah, let's do that. Every game has to have its little lightsaber. Ultra high capacity tank. Yes, please. Look at that O2 go up. That is, almost 3 times the capacity. Well, we can't upgrade the Seamoth depth module yet. What I do want to do is pimp this place out a little better. First of all, I can't see anything, so let's put some windows in here. One there. And one on this side. Three windows. Now that is what I'm talking about. That is an underwater base. Even the fish like it. And some people really get into the interior design, and you can really run away with it in this game. I'm not quite that obsessive, but I would like everything to look as cool as it can be. And that is cool. Much cooler than before. Oh, prawn suit. I think we can build that in the vehicle bay. So let's do that. Alright, it's prawn suit time. Yeah, this early in the game, the prawn suit is not that useful, but very soon, you know, you're in that thing for the entire game, basically, after a certain point, and they are pretty sweet. And once you kind of get into using them how they're meant to be used.
It is normal when first piloting a prawn suit to feel a sense of limitless power. Prawn operators receive weeks of training to counteract this phenomenon. You will have to make do with self-discipline.
Okay. That's cool.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Prawn suit gets the male voice. Flashbacks stomping around the ocean floor. Now, the unfortunate thing is at this point, we don't yet have the arms we need. With these, we can punch. It doesn't really do much, though. What we really need is a drill arm, and then also a, what do you call them? Now I forget, but they fire out a cable and pull you along. So those two arms we'll want eventually. Can't really use this thing yet. We can run around stomping around in it, feeling cool. And I ain't gonna say that I don't feel cool right about now, but can't really use it yet. What we can do is, like a boss, put it right up here so we can see it every time we're inside the base, which I think is cool. Whether you do or not.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's as cool as playing with action figures in your room at the age of 35. Which is not to say that I'm 35, or that I have action figures, or that I sometimes play with them in my room. None of those things are necessarily true. Right now, let's do the next thing on my to-do list, which is to go explore the island that Paul Degassi said they were marooned on. I know that in the materials that we picked up, there's indication about how to get to the island. I don't remember where that was, but I do remember where the island is. So we're just gonna go there. Whoa! There you are. Yeah, so this is cool. This island is floating. And the reason it does that is it has these huge gas sacks attached to it. There's another biome we can go to, which I think may be nearby, which has a bunch of little floating, kind of much smaller little rocks and islands. underwater. Gromit, wanna go walkies? Let's go walkies. Pretty. Aha. Look at you. Old abandoned habitat. Who do we think might have been living there? Where are you, buddy? There's a lot of interesting stuff around here, but I want to get you out of the way first. Outdoor planter. We can use one of those for sure. Purple tablet. Let's scan you. Look a little bit alien in design. This carbon-based device is lighter than it looks. Despite the onboard power still functioning, algae growth in the exterior indicates it was abandoned hundreds, perhaps thousands of years ago. While the technology is far beyond Federation levels, and there is no obvious way to interface with it, it should nonetheless be possible to fabricate a precise physical copy of the device if necessary. Good. PDA.
What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched.
Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing.
We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
Yeah, I go with alien, Marguerite. Now we have the blueprint for you. Anything else? Bulkhead. There you go. I think I can scan you. Wall planter. You interior decorators out there.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief,
What?
you know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of storm water? Or how to conjure food from the air?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth to you today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like, let him go deal with the plants.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bard, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time. No staying here neither. This rain keeps falling, sooner or later this place will be buried. The only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
Tense times among the Degassi survivors. Now,
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degassi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not gone a week of her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing in how to shackle nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years.
Yeah, or in your case, never. Obviously, a good dad trying to do his best. And Maida may be right, but she's also an awful human being. Let's go look at that structure we saw up there. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Are there two? Or am I just filling up the wrong... Oh, there are two. Huh. I think I only knew of one of them. What we got here?
New blueprint acquired.
Acquired.
Integrating.
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators, fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship, and your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking on it.
Okay, well, let's go look at the other one. Yeah, it's funny, in retrospect, Paul was right. Maida may have been into going underwater to find, a cool base to be at. But this was obviously a better place to be than underwater. Spotlight. A little more for the prettification of the base.
New blueprint acquired.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are
New
getting worse.
blueprint acquired.
Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
Pretty awesome view, I would say. I guess that wreck wasn't there when they were here. Alright, I think that's everything the island has to provide us. So, let's go ahead and head back.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Thank you. Yeah, one of our scanner cameras is at the base. The other one is down below in the mushroom cavern where the snakes are. I went back there to mine titanium in between the streams, and I got my ass handed to me repeatedly by those snakes in that cave. It was worth it, but wow, they're not much fun. I do love the base building. I'm eager for the sequel, Subnautica 2, which comes out later this summer in early access. I have a feeling that they have ramped up all of this, base building, etc.
Farming alien plants is a proven survival strategy. Craig McGill survived 47 months on a healthy, raw salad of live tree roaches and stank root.
Well, bully for Craig McGill. Alright, now let's listen to the radio.
Aurora, we're approaching the planet now. We have a landing site for you that's... well, it's better than the alternatives. We've sent you the coordinates. It'll take us a couple of days to align our orbit. We should be able to establish direct contact with you during that time. Then we're coming in to get you. Cross your fingers the weather holds, and don't leave us waiting. Sunbeam out.
So 2 days, which in game time means 40 minutes, as we see. Not much else to do here, so let's go over there and see what's what. Alright, so the Sunbeam landing site, if you recall, the spaceship Sunbeam picked up our distress signal and is now on its way to pick us up and take us back to Earth. So this is the landing coordinates they gave us. And in 37 minutes, they'll be here, and we can say adios to 4546. Is that right, B? I bet you didn't think the game was this short, right? I mean, this is a sure thing. It's a healthy spaceship, on their way in, about to land. What could go wrong? Look at that. Island number 2. This is where they're gonna land. Whoa. Talk about items popping in. What on earth is that? So cool. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that that's not of human origin. We have 35 minutes until they get here. Let's go check it out. Insert tablet. We found one of those tablets on the other island, but we left it there. Ah. Now, how can we see the Aurora from here, but we couldn't see the island from over there? Just asking. These are just questions. Cool. Science fiction, baby. Ah, what are you? Ion cube. I'll take you. Oh, another one for me? Thank you.
Unknown language. Attempting translation.
Enforcement platform schematic. The facility was to be powered by a separate self-sustaining power plant located elsewhere on the planet. The location's not listed, but there's evidence that the designers intended to harness the planet's natural thermal energy. The facility consists of an upper engineering section where this schematic was found. That's where we are now. And the control room, accessed by a security-sealed elevator shaft or a separate underwater moon pool. The control room in the lower section has as the only known way to interface with the facility. However, the schematic does not detail the operation procedure or installed security measures. Okay. Well, why don't we go have a look, eh? Science fiction elevator. Science fiction. Aha! Moon pool. Yep. Ah!
The control panel is broadcasting a message. Translation reads, "Warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon. This planet is under quarantine."
Infected individuals. Well, we know that I have a disease.
Broadcast. Downloading summary to databank.
So, infected individuals, like me, are not allowed to disable the weapon because the planet is under quarantine. The weapon. That's not ominous at all. Ha. Look at you. Alien Arch. This structure's intended purpose is unclear. Theories on function. A. Ceremonial or religious role. B. Industrial applications. C. Advanced transportation network. Energy core. This device houses energy equivalent to a 100 megaton nuclear detonation, which can be channeled through the facility and directed at vessels overhead, or bent around the planet's gravitational pull to strike targets in orbit. Power is routed by the attached terminal, allowing for the device to be deactivated if necessary. It's currently operating without parameters, suggesting it will target any ship within range. Ruh-roh, Raggy. So it can target ships approaching the planet, like the Aurora and the Degassi. And there's a ship approaching the planet right now. I'm sure they'll be okay, though. Right? I mean, they're taking us home. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Things always work out for the best in these survival-y science fiction movies. Perfect. Escape at sunset. Earth, I can feel your warmth on me already. Yeah, the designers of this game are really good at putting together what in films they call set pieces, which is to say, not actual sets, but settings where cool scenes can unfold. And they really do that very well in this game. This is one of them, obviously, the Aurora, another. Once we get cooking here in a little bit, there are some just staggering set pieces down below. We've dived down to, 200 meters here? Maybe 300? But we're nowhere near as deep as we're gonna be. And it gets super freaky. I'm sure that's nothing.
Survivor, we see you. Man, I don't know how you held out down there. We broke an atmosphere, and we're descending towards the landing site. Is that a building down there? What do you mean you can't identify it? Hold on. There's no turning back now. Positions, everyone. Touching down in 10, 9, 8. It's coming from the building? Change course. Set thrusters to full.
We're still going home, right? Fuck. Alright, well guys, I think that's as good a place as any to leave it off this time. We're now super fucked and have no clear direction about what to do next. But if I know these game developers, and I think I do, there will be a little bit of direction forthcoming. But for now, let's call it an evening. Thanks again for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give a like and subscribe if you like what you see. Both of those things really, really help. I know you hear it all the time, but it's so true. Thank you again. This is Spaceman Speck signing off. Hope to see you again, and we will continue saving the universe one game at a time. Fuck.